Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are going to be doing my playoff preview prediction for the Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers. So before we start, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me hear your thoughts down below. Who do you think is going to win this series, in how many games, and why? Now, we're going to do 5 minutes talking about the Denver Nuggets, then 5 minutes talking about the Lakers. And if you just want to skip to the end of the video, there's timestamps. My prediction will be at the end. I'll talk about who I think will win, but I'll also say how the other team who I think will lose could still win this. Let's get it. Like, comment, and subscribe. So what's the first thing everyone's going to say? Well, the Nuggets went 3-0 in the regular season against the Los Angeles Lakers. And in those games, one was in the beginning of the year, another was in February, and then the other one, it was in March. And every game they've won by at least 8 points. And they weren't blowouts, but they won they won handedly each of the games. And the Denver Nuggets this season are the 5th offensive rating in the league, 8th defensive rating, 4th net rating. And a lot of people have said, like, the Denver Nuggets haven't even turned it fully on. We've seen it at times, but they've coasted through the regular season and they still won 57 games. And Nikola Jokic might just go ahead and win his 3rd MVP trophy. Now, for them to win this series, which I think, though, if they do win this, it'll either be a repeat of last year where they mop them, or it'll be a dogfight. Because I do think this Lakers squad is a bit better than last year's, even though they're not on the momentum like the way that they were last year. I just think the team holistically is better from having guys like Taurean Princeton, Jackson Hayes, and Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench, with the starting lineup, being LeBron, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura, who has worked out well for them. And I think they have a solid 8-guy rotation that they've been using, and I think that's somewhat better than what they had last year, or maybe the same, I don't know. But the team's 15th in offensive rating and 16th in defensive rating, and they're actually a top 10 3-point shooting team, and I think that's a huge difference than last year, where the Lakers, if you guys don't remember, last year's Lakers were 11th in defensive rating, but 20th in offensive rating, and they were the 5th worst 3-point shooting team in the league. So that's definitely something that the Nuggets have to watch for, that this is a different team. But I do believe the Nuggets, again, they're one of the most efficient field goal teams in general. They're super efficient with their shot selection from 3-point, from inside the arc, and they don't even need to live at the free throw line because they're so efficient. They're one of the best passing teams, 3rd in assists. They're one of the best rebounding teams. They do a good job of protecting the rim. The one thing is they don't force many turnovers in the at the top of the half court, like in the key. But again, they don't make mistakes. Michael Malone has this as a really good coach squad, and and also on defense, they're the 6th in points allowed, so they don't let their opponents score. The one thing there for them is, I think when you look at the Nuggets this year are a team that I feel like we haven't seen their full power, and they won the championship last year, and they've looked at, like the best team for large parts of the season. So for me, it's very hard not to look at this roster when you have guys besides Jokic, okay, who's just unbelievable. You have Michael Porter Jr., who's rebounding and moving better than he has in what seems like in years. And the other thing is he's stroking it, averaging almost 17 points with 7 rebounds, looking like the guy that when he got paid. Aaron Gordon out there being the Swiss Army knife they need, averaging 14. Reggie Jackson's been phenomenal, and so does Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, both averaging 10 a night. And then Christian Braun averaging 7, but Peyton Watson being their like defensive maestro who replaced Bruce Brown, averaging 7. And then you still have, if everything, like if one of those backups get hurt, or if anyone gets hurt, you still have Justin Holiday or Julian Strother and even Hunter Tyson. Like, this is a deep team. And I know like the last couple guys were young dudes, but dude, those guys have played well when they've needed. And that's the thing about this Nuggets team is Michael Malone has these guys always ready. I just can't bet against them until they give me a reason. The only thing that I get concerned is it's Anthony Davis versus Jokic. But Jamal Murray goes crazy. If they can contain Jamal, if Jamal Murray doesn't show up, that's the one thing. But Jamal has, so I have no reason not to believe in the Nuggets. So how can the Los Angeles Lakers beat the defending champ? We talked about it earlier. If you guys had skipped, this is a different Lakers team than last year. Okay, this is a better three-point shooting team. And last year's Lakers, so this year's Lakers, let's just talk about it from there and we'll start. So the personnel, similar, but a little bit different. So this year's Lakers ended up being the 15th best offense, 16th best defense, net rating 19th, but they were the 8th best three-point shooting team. And for them, they were a squad that actually ended up being the 6th highest scoring offense in the league, and they foul the least amount while they force their opponents to foul the most. Like, they draw the most of fouls, and they do a good job of getting to the free throw line. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, or like they shoot a very efficient three-pointers. They don't shoot a lot of them, but they shoot them very efficiently, and they shoot a very efficient field goal. So it's a very different type of squad in comparison to last year's when the Denver Nuggets faced this Lakers squad. This was a Lakers squad that was in 22 to 23 was the 20th offensive rating, 11th defensive rating, but 34.6% from three, which was the 5th worst three-point shooting team. So to go from the 5th worst three-point shooting team to the 8th best, it's a different personnel. Like last year, obviously Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis, LeBron, D'Angelo Russell were all here, but they had in the playoffs, they had themselves, Dennis Schroeder, who I think played a huge part for them, and as this was a team, Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Lonnie Walker, all guys who we saw during the playoffs. And they had Troy Brown Jr. as well. They also had Malik Beasley. While this year, I think the personnel is personally, in my opinion, if I had to say so myself, is a better squad. And I know, again, people are going to say the Nuggets won the season series 3-0. But this year, you're seeing a team for Anthony Davis has probably been the best version of himself this year since the bubble. Even from a scoring standpoint, obviously the three-point shot's never going to get to that level. But then you have LeBron just, 2 bona fide 25 points per game scorer. You have the most efficient version of D'Angelo Russell we've seen ever. Austin Reeves doing Austin Reeves things. Now you have Taurean Prince, who is a 42% three-point shooter, who is a combo forward, so he plays small forward and power forward. He's a defensive stud. You still have Rui Hachimura, who's, again, super efficient and gives you another cool 14 points, while Taurean gives you 9. If they have to, this is a squad that, again, injuries-wise, I know the Lakers could be like one injury away from everything crumbling, and they're way more susceptible to injuries and they're not as deep as the Nuggets. I'm aware of that. I know Nuggets fans would want to bring that up. And their injuries currently, Reddish didn't play in the playing game. Wood because of his knee did not play in the playing game. Jared Vanderbilt, foot, and did not play. And then obviously you guys know Jalen Hood-Schifino's out for the season, I believe, is still. And for me, It's not like those guys really, for them, they're running this rotation of LeBron, Davis, Reeves, Russell, and Rui as the starting lineup, which I love. And they're just going with their 5 best players, and then when they need a front court help, they put in Jackson Hayes for either Davis or LeBron or Rui Hachimura, and then Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for either Russell or Reeves, and Taurean Prince comes in for either Rui or LeBron. That's really been the 8 dudes that Darvin Ham has been riding with, and I mess with it. I think those are the solid, gives them a good size advantage because Taurean Prince and Rui are going to be going up, and LeBron will go up against Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., while Spencer Dinwiddie, Reeves, Russell will go against Jamal Murray, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, and Reggie Jackson, while Nikola Jokic will be going against Anthony Davis and a little bit of Jackson Hayes. Obviously, I think Jamal Murray and Reggie Jackson are better than the Lakers guards. No offense to the Lakers. It's just, if Jamal Murray's playing at playoff Murray level, it's hard to stop that guy. While I think if you look at, this is where it gets hard because it's the defending freaking champs. And like I talked about it, the Lakers' best bet to win this is the old adage that everybody, when a team has like an MVP guy, you try to take everybody else out of the game and you tell the MVP he can have his, but he's gonna have to beat him by himself. In that sense, that you hope that Spencer Dinwiddie, Austin Reeves, and D'Angelo Russell can contain Jamal Murray, who, if he's in playoff mode, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Reggie Jackson, while LeBron, Rui Hachimura, and Taurean Prince have to try to contain Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, and then Nikola Jokic will be going against Anthony Davis, and very seldomly Jackson Hayes when Davis needs a breather. So for me, I think that's where it becomes wild to think about how the Lakers can win this. And when you look at the numbers, because also, like I've said out, the Lakers lost the season series. The Lakers technically, and I don't know if we can take what the Nuggets stats have said this season because they're not the same team in the playoffs, I personally believe, that they are in the regular season. For the Nuggets, they're a team that attempts the least amount of three-pointers in the league. And the Lakers are also a team that is bottom, this attempts the second or third least amount of three-pointers in the league. So with that being said, both teams aren't huge three-point shooting teams, but they're efficient at it. I think that's where I look at this, and if the Lakers want to win this, like I said, they're going to have to take away all of Jokic's sidekicks and tell Jokic to beat him by himself, and then they have to just outshoot them. And for the Nuggets to win this, I think the Nuggets just have to do their game. Jamal Murray, let him cook, play off of Jokic, control the ball, the possession, wear down the Lakers. And guys, because of that, I think this is going to be a 6-game series. I'm taking the Nuggets because they're the defending champs. But because LeBron is freaking LeBron James, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron and the Lakers won this. But guys, you can't go against the defending champs when they have the MVP, arguably. But I'm a LeBron fan, and I would not be surprised if they shock the world and beat the Nuggets.